The promises, purpose, and aim is life. The promise of the producer's playbook is to experience love after love through the mystery of love revealing. For now we see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then we shall see face to face. Now I know in part, then I shall know fully, even as I am fully known. 1 Corinthians 13:12, New International Version. During the producer's playbook, you will experience the butterfly effect that transforms fear into faith, apathy into compassion, and judgment into grace. By acting in love, you become the person you are divinely designed to become. It is a self-discovery process of learning who you truly are. Your soul's purpose is in the rediscovering, recreating, and reinvigorating love through the colors, forms, and creative expressions that you were uniquely designed to express. Your DNA, inherited from the original Adam and Eve, is imbued with love, as you were created by love, gifted with love, with a mission to love. The producer's playbook helps you activate your true passion, pursuit, and purpose by expressing the love within you when you decide to take on the call to adventure. This call to adventure is the problem worth solving that you are meant to solve, that only you know how to solve. And by tackling it, you manifest your true self through faith, hope, and love, ultimately leading to the realization of living out your truth, also known as being on the mark. On your loss. Love has officially ended when the apple of your eye, the wind beneath your wings, the love of your life has left your sphere of living. When you lose this person, you lose not only the presence of who they are, but also the potential moments, memories, and future interactions that you could have shared together. The heart hurting is an understatement. It may feel like death by 1,000 cuts. It may feel like your inner core, your soul, your spirit is withering, writhing, and warring within, while the cold world seemingly moves on. That is because you are faced with an unfinished story, an unsung song, a life unexperienced. The value of your loss, only God knows how precious and how profound. This unfinished dream is known as the void. The void is indescribable agony and terror. Any attempt to understand the impact of the loss and all the experiences foregone is overwhelming. You cannot even put into words the weight of your loss. You start resenting joyful people. How far have you descended in hell? You ask yourself. You put on a fake smile in front of friends, family, and strangers, and it is tiring. You want to be left alone. You are trapped in your mind because the mind keeps replaying the hours of the past unchanging and a future voided. Just make this stop, you plead to someone, anyone, for help. Make it go away. You want to disappear. You are spiraling downwards. And just when you think you can't take it anymore, stop. First, breathe. Second, take a deep, deep breath. Third, focus on breathing in through your nose, breathing out through your mouth. Do this again, but slowly. Focus just on your breath. Do this for a set of 3 breaths, then a set of 5, then a set of 10. Now, here's the good news. There is another way. Creative expression. Yes, You can deal with the pain by transforming it into creative expression through the hidden mysteries of love revealing. Let's first define transformation. Transformation in mathematics is a process by which one figure, expression, or function is converted into another one of similar value. We are human beings. As a being, we are both flesh and spirit with the ability, versatility, and agility of transforming pain into passion. When we take action on our passion, our purpose will be revealed. Living is a matter of being. Being what, you ask? Being exactly the way you are and being okay with this state, whatever state that may be. Your purpose becomes apparent when you allow painful feelings to pass through you rather than resisting or denying it. That's because purpose comes from a problem personal to you. Your loss marks the beginning of a journey into the darkness, the realm of shadows. According to Joseph Campbell's monomyth, this is the dark forest, where the spiritual maturation process takes place. The dark forest is where heroes are born. It is the substance of all stories worth sharing and repeating because it is there that your shadow becomes integrated. During this adventure, you will discover that the desires, design, and destiny of your heart are in warring states of contradictions. It is your task as a journal artist to discern which actions lead to your highest good and which are the booby traps. What you resist will persist. What you accept will offer you a clue towards the next step of your journey, facilitating your potency in the power of choosing. Power is a two-edged sword. It can be used for destruction or it can be used for creative expression. The first path is easy and complex. The second path is simple and hard. The producer's playbook takes the second path. It is the way of being in love, even when facing life in its absence. The mask you wear. Life is not all good when the stark contrast between the shine of stardom and the sin behind the scenes is revealed. You have been putting on appearances, and it has become exhausting. You are tired of pretending to be okay when people ask, "How are you?" and you reply, "Just fine," knowing you are not. Then there are the moments when you force a smile when you really want to cry. Then there's that time you saw some catchy phrase on a billboard to seize the day next to a beautiful family, and all you wanted to do is seize a hanging rope and put your head through it. Your soul has been eroding silently like iron in water from all the half-truths you have been acting out. Everything is beginning to look phony. Like Holden in Catcher in the Rye, you begin seeing everything as a facade of yourself and of others. A deeper part of you just wants to turn the whole thing inside out, like a bad actor breaking his lines in a performance, saying to the audience, "Enough! I hate pretending." You tear off your costume and walk off stage. You mutter under your breath, "The real me is way more tragic than the characters I'll ever play on stage." You withdraw from life. You quietly tell yourself, "At least they have a plot." The only plot I'll have is the one that marks the dates of my birth and death. Everything in between, that damn dash, is what you're seeing now. A sad clown, a useless human, a worthless fool. You are partially correct in this metaphysical exercise. You are the fool. Stripped down to your bare nakedness, you become aware of your own weaknesses, vulnerabilities, and flaws. You are helpless to help the ones you love. You have little influence in the politics, society, and culture of your time. Even when it comes to understanding your own design, you have little control over what's happening internally and how you react. You are the punchline of what seems like a sick, cruel joke. You are indeed the fool. The good news is that there is a uniquely and divinely designed journey for fools like you. It is in purpose that one's pain and foolery is justified. It is in the pursuit of that purpose that one's pain transforms into passion. This kind of passion is the fire that consumes the dying and rebuilds the living, the kind that consummates shadows with spirits, the kind that fuses the dragon and the phoenix to produce the winged serpent. The love story is a fool's errand. The love story is a fool's errand because a commitment in transforming one's life tragedy into a divine comedy is a very hard journey. This is because it is an inward journey. When outside circumstances are fixed and outside of our control, the journal artist is still tasked to arc the story by arcing one's character first. Those in the process of transforming their journey are called journal artists. As journal artists, we use the 13 verses inside 1 Corinthians 13 in the Holy Bible to shape our character and the story we are living. We do this by fusing the habit of journaling with the craft of journalism for the personal journey. We reveal our scenes, situations, and synchronicities in literary fiction based on a true story. The journal entries of the journal artist become an ever-present witness in the highly personal journey of opening up the conscious state of becoming more loving. The discipline of love revealed inside 1 Corinthians 13 guides the character arc of the journal artist, while the revealing of that character arc is expressed through the craft of the written word, as fiction based on a true story. The aim is always to shape the character arc so that the story arc from tragedy into divine comedy naturally unfolds. This entire process from a personal life tragedy to a divine comedy is known as the love story. The journal artist must undertake the difficult task of transforming one's tragedy by first transforming one's real-life character in real-time reality. The journal artist will project one's own character into a fictionalized one in a story. Why? Because characters in story influence the characters in our reality, and the characters in our reality become transformed when revealing their character in story. The task of the journal artist is to apply the 13 verses of love in Scripture to their personal life while documenting, living, and shaping their own love story, one scene at a time, one incident at a time, one journal entry at a time. This is the only guarantee the Love Story Playbook can offer for the journal artist who chooses to play. Foolish hope in love. In the first 3 acts of the Love Story Playbook, the journal artist will uncover the silver linings in the suffering and will learn how to ride that silver lining to redemptive completion. The first 3 acts move through faith, compassion, and grace for a chance at deeper revelation, redemption, and meaning. Transform tragedy by revealing it. The producer's playbook is the first 3 acts of the Love Story Playbook. It aims to reveal the silver lining of suffering through faith, compassion, and grace. Act 1 focuses on illuminating the shadow and validating the tragedy. Act 2 teaches discernment of true desires from false ones through compassion of the shadow. Act 3 emphasizes grace as a means of cultivating intimacy and relationship with the loving God and with oneself. The producer's playbook serves as a gateway to the next 3 acts, which focuses on patience, kindness, and non-action in the face of temptations from the shadow. The Love Story Playbook as a whole highlights the power of personal sovereignty and choice in shaping a journey from tragedy to a divine comedy through the lens of love. The Producer's Playbook helps uncover the silver linings of your suffering by guiding you through faith, compassion, and grace. By pursuing these silver linings, you will attract more experiences that reveal your true purpose. The first 3 acts of the playbook will lead you towards deeper understanding, redemption, and meaning. Shadow reckoning. Recognizing and acknowledging the shadow within oneself is an important step in personal growth and maturity. The shadow, also known as the id in psychology, can be thought of as the potential for villainy within the heart of the hero. It is represented by the black dot within the white tadpole of the Taoist yin-yang symbol. We all start off from the yang side. As heroes to our own story, we inevitably become self-aware of our own shadows, id, within us, in time. Becoming aware of this shadow is the beginning of spiritual growth and maturity. We all have a villain brewing within the deeper reaches of our hearts, and it comes out when we throw shade at others. We don't know how to confront it because it is elusive, projective, and deceptive. However, the playbook utilizes a God defined in love to carry you through this stage of your self-awareness to the shadow within you. The God within you and around you becomes your spiritual guide to uncover the shadow within you and around you. God will wield you like a sword and shield you like a sheath in your journey of self-discovery. You will not learn how to destroy the shadow, rather, you will learn how to integrate the shadow with both your own spirit and the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is an entity sovereign and separate from your own. The first 3 acts of the playbook are designed to help individuals become fully self-aware of their own shadow and spirit. Destiny is always tied to the shadow's pain, and purpose is always propelled by the Spirit's grace and blessings. The knowledge and understanding gained from the shadow and spirit in the fictional world can then be applied and resolved in the real world. Picking up shards. You will experience the same phenomenon of the mystery everyone else will experience, but why you seek it, what you will uncover, and how it shows up for you is unique, highly unique. You will pick up each broken piece of your shattered heart and transform it, one miracle at a time, one journal entry at a time, based on a compromise and a cooperation among your soul, shadow, and spirit, gifted, activated, and cultivated by God through the Holy Spirit. This playbook is both universal and unique to the individual playing it out. You will learn how to listen, speak, and interact with the God defined in 1 Corinthians 13 of the Holy Bible. Know thyself. Knowing the why will become the compass for your what. This playbook will take you from the state of being lost into the state of being profound. By the end of the playbook, you will develop a newfound respect for the discipline of listening to your heart's true desire, design, and destiny. You will develop an appreciation for the ability to discern between the voice of fear and the voice of faith. Your eyes will be opened and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. The serpent, Genesis 3:5. There is one place you long for, home. Each person's way home is unique. Each journal artist reveals the same mystery of love, but the how, the when, and the why are highly specialized, yet equally profound for the individual. We are universally bound by the same laws of love that is building this coexistence called life. A mystery is hidden in plain sight. It is there, yet often goes unnoticed, until perhaps something happens that catches your attention. An anomaly, a synchronicity, a supernatural phenomenon, a small gesture of meditative significance, a remark that lingers, a coincidence, or is it? Should you share it, you would not properly convey its significance. As a journal artist, you are accepting the burden of consciousness by bringing these moments to light. However, it is much easier to illuminate the spirit rather than the shadow, because the shadow often carries the stigma of shame and blame. Thus, the producer's playbook illuminates the shadow in storytelling in order that we may process it without the sting of shame and blame. To love and to act in love, you must also acknowledge the parts of you that are not loving, or you run the risk of falling victim to your own lies, trapped in the illusion of isolationist self-sufficiency, self-righteous judgments, and smug complacency, wasting away on the mirage, overstaying on a stop and missing the destination, stagnant on your own journey. To transform such tragedies into a divine comedy, there is an internal wrestling with the shadow. In that contention, you will learn how to integrate it with the spirit, and you will break free of its illusions. Once integrated, the shadow will become your informant and friend rather than your trickster and enemy. Unfortunately, there can be no doubt that man is, on the whole, less good than he imagines himself or wants to be. Everyone carries a shadow, and the less it is embodied in the individual's conscious life, the blacker and denser it is. At all counts, it forms an unconscious snag, thwarting our most well-meant intentions. Dr. Carl Jung. Once you become familiar with your process of shadow integration and finding your flow in it, you will experience the phenomenon of purpose, meaning, and deeper mysteries unlocking. The path to your own liberation and redemption story is indeed narrow, because love is narrowly defined, and you are divinely designed to discover that narrow path. The good news of having a narrow path is that it becomes a simple and clear path for you to discover and take. There is no other person's way that will ever be quite like your way. The constriction paradoxically simplifies the process for you. There, you will unlock the mystery of the way by moving along your unique way. The meeting with oneself is, at first, the meeting with one's own shadow. The shadow is a tight passage, a narrow door, whose painful constriction no one is spared who goes down to the deep well. But one must learn to know oneself in order to know who one is. Dr. Carl Jung. Stripped of fear, jealousy, endless comparing, and one-upping, you are left with the race set before you, specialized, customized, and individualized by a divine creator who loves you passionately and purposefully. A good God who is defined by love and who designed you to answer love's call and win. Simply put, stay in your lane and finish the race to win. The mirror darkly. Illuminating the shadow is a hard yet simple task. Moreover, it is a necessary task because you are meant to learn how to love thy neighbor. However, you don't know how to love thy neighbor when you haven't yet discerned what is not loving. Thus, while you are moving through the metamorphosis by making the shadow conscious, not only will you become a better person, but you will intuitively know how to help others when you have integrated yours. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. The latter procedure, however, is disagreeable and therefore not popular. Dr. Carl Jung. Processing truth inside creative expression for people to witness, people who may no longer see the point of their existence, matters. It is about arcing the character inside your own storyline in a timeline paradox and position parallel to someone else's character arc in their storyline. In other words, you are essentially the mirror to carry the spiritual message to someone else's metamorphosis while they are at the edge of the abyss, nearing 0 point, hitting rock bottom, lost in the darkness, hopeless, blind, and numbed, feeling empty and thinking life meaningless. You will play a critical role in the mystery of ages, in a spiritual battle of transforming hearts in choosing love even in its absence. The solution to life's biggest problems can only be resolved from a real and raw place. They must be lived, survived, and walked through, so you know in the meditative and meta processes of your life experiences how and why love works. Pain and passion are mutually inclusive. They must engage with one another for love's maturity to take place. You may be mentally tormented most of the time, but you may also be creative, sharp, and intuitive. You may spontaneously break into sobs, but you may also become more precise in reflecting the experiences in spoken word and creative expression. Your spiritual antenna may be highly sensitive at times, but you can also leverage that sensitivity towards better interviewing, empathy, and storytelling. You have a beautiful mind. What and where is your silver lining? If you have hope for your silver lining amidst your suffering, then the grounding for your second book, The Divine Comedy, will take root. The mystery of love is designed to transform the broken state into the broken open state. Why is heartbreak an important part of love? Heartbreak teaches us the deeper mysteries of love, that of divine sovereignty and free will within each human being, that of grace to heal the wounds inflicted by the shadow, that of long-suffering and kindness, two qualities of character that reflect the image of God's character. These are qualities that can inspire and encourage you to choose and become more loving, even when the absence of love surrounds you and the void seems pervasive, unending, and overwhelming. In those moments, you have the opportunity to exercise your free will to still choose love. Heartbreak shifts the perception of love from taking to giving, from attachment to letting go, from ignorance to illumination. Heartbreak is not something to be ashamed of, dismissed, or judged. Instead, it is something to be embraced, discerned, and transformed inside the soul, also known as shadow integration, so that it activates the dormant part of your psyche. This activation prompts you to search for deeper meaning in your passion, pursuit, and purpose for what God has called you to discover, walk through, and become in this life. This is an opportunity to uncover the mystery of love. To choose the way of love is to choose the hero's journey. Through this lens, you may also view heartbreak as an activation point, a necessary precursor to the call to adventure. On a macrocosmic scale, each life given and each life taken is a point of activation for the layers of love to undress and reveal its naked features. The nectar of life is at the heart of the broken open state of the human soul. Breaking open. You have to keep breaking your heart until it opens. Rumi. The heart breaking is a paradoxical process of the heart breaking open. The heart breaking reflects the metaphysical deconstruction of meaning, purpose, and priorities for the soul. It is in this incubation period that the journal artist begins embodying one's space, place, and grace towards serenity and purpose. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10, New International Version. Heartbreak breaks down your ego so that your spirit can break through. It shapes your destiny by pivoting you towards your heart's call. Grace floods into heartbreak like rainstorm to a desert, shaping and shifting the landscape. terraforming the perception of who you really are, who God designed you to be, why you exist, and why your existence matters to all that surrounds you. You may be broken in heartbreak, but you are also divinely designed to become broken open in heartbreak. It is designed to jolt you from the ordinary world into the extraordinary one. Heartbreak is the experience of becoming disintegrated, becoming swallowed into the belly of the whale, confronting the abyss. The destiny of the broken open heart is for you to bring forth the fruits of what you have sowed when you made the choice of trusting in the mystery of love. Heartbreak is the initiation rite of passage propelled by a herald, maybe several heralds, that quicken the hero's need to cross over to the adventure of the unknown world. It causes enough pain for you to leave your place of comfort and move you into a new center, also known as New Eden. New Eden is in the middle of the dark forest where your treasures lie in wait. This new center is a place filled with meaning and purpose that only you can venture into, unlock, and experience. This means that there is only one solution to the problem that you have lived through to comprehend and solve. One key, one door, one prize for one person to obtain. Only one person in the entire universe can solve this one particular piece of the puzzle for the rest of the group. This prize is uniquely designed for you, much like how the Excalibur sword is uniquely designed for King Arthur. This holds true for every individual living on Earth, as each person has an Excalibur sword waiting to be picked up, wielded, and fought with. In the mystery of ages, each person has a piece of the mystery to solve, and only one particular individual can solve this one particular piece for the collective. The power of pain. Heartbreak is questing from a deeper part of your genome, activating genes once dormant, ready to express itself for the sake of a future glory. This is a destiny only your soul is able to comprehend through the realm of dream. A dream that is reaching and calling out to you into action. What if your willingness to fight the good fight will add to the goodness, grace, and glory of the collective finish line for us all? What if your heartbreak is a call conjured by the sacrifices, wisdom, and adventures of your ancestors, pulling you towards a singular goal? It is your heritage, your journey, your destiny. It is bigger than you and me. You must value your life as something more precious than the most expensive thing on earth. You must value your life as precious, as each choice you make in love and redemption affects the world. Embrace the call to adventure in your one life as God is calling you. Pick up your pain, pick up your cross, pick up the phone. Pain serves as a catalyst for deeper truths, meaning, and purpose in your life. It connects you to God, who is waiting to speak to you and helping you answer the questions you've been longing to understand, including why you were created. Pain delivers you from evil. Pain propels you from the ordinary world into the extraordinary one. Pain is the herald that calls you into adventure. God, faithful and true, will answer all your questions on God's timing, which is always the best timing. Why truth matters. Truth matters because it breaks spells or life lies we act out. It's like a filtration system that removes pollutants in the ocean. It's simple yet meaningful, but each person's truth is incomplete and relative. Only God has the source code to the truth. We each have a piece of God's heart, and so we each have relative truth, as in we have parts that are true and parts that are untrue. As we continue living, failing, and gaining wisdom through our experiences, we get closer to the truth, despite the fact that the truth has already arrived and is hidden in plain sight in every present perfect moment. As a journal artist, it is your task to express relative truth in creative expression and discover clues that bring you closer to the truth. Your relative truth still matters because it contributes to the collective co-solving of the truth. Your task as a journal artist is to discern your own life lies from the truth. By doing so, you help the rest of us towards one collective redemption. By revealing the tragedy in your story, you shift the cosmic perception from tragedy into a divine comedy. You may think that you are just one drop in the ocean, so what difference does it make if you told your personal truth? No one will notice nor care, so you think. When it comes to the transcendent, thinking will block you. Stop thinking, start being. Be in your body, be in your heart space, feel the weight of your design, feel the peaks and troughs of your dreams, feel the power of your personal story in all its raw and relative truths. Embrace it. Why share if the truth is not complete? The truth is that no one person has the truth. But by sharing relative truth, we can each piece it together bit by bit, nearing the truth. So sharing with one another is still fundamental in bringing the collective closer towards the truth. Perfect love has the truth. We each have a piece of God's insight, so we all have a piece of the truth, set against many relative ones. Perhaps it's all divinely designed so that no one person can claim righteousness without the source code, God. The truth is hidden in plain sight. It is your task as the journal artist to come as close to the truth as possible without becoming arrogant about it. Because once you get puffed up with knowledge, you'll lose it. And once you lose it, you'll start gaining it back again. That's because the point isn't the knowledge of love, but love itself. Knowledge of love can lead you to love and can be a stumbling block to love. That's the gray area inside the hexagon of the Star of David. For now, you are limited by your 5 senses. Even with a 6th or 7th sense, you are still limited. But this is part of why life is interesting and all part of God's plan. Love works in paradoxes. By revealing relative truth in creative expression, you will essentially discover clues that brings us closer to the truth that will be fully revealed in the collective human consciousness. Your life is valuable because your living brings humanity one step closer in co-solving the puzzle towards the truth. If you ask me to expand further on why your relative truth matters, despite it not being complete, I'd like you to consider that the act of expressing relative truth still plays an important role towards helping the collective get closer to the truth through a mirror darkly. This is where I must tell you that this is all I know. I've taken it this far, and I'm hoping someone else in the universe will expand on this work and carry on. And that's how it works. Each person has a piece of the truth and a piece of the lie. As a journal artist, it is your responsibility to distinguish between what parts of your story are the truth and what parts are the life lies. However, you do not have to do this alone. Shadow work is to do mirror work. By taking on the responsibility of discerning your own life lies, you are helping the rest of us towards one collective redemption. By revealing the tragedy, you are allowing your shadows to speak. In that space, you will have a clear understanding of what the problem is. Why does resolving your own problems matter? Because you matter. Your story matters. It matters how you tell your story, because the act of telling the story will shift the cosmic perception from a tragedy into a divine comedy. You are part of the chain of unlocking deeper mysteries of love. Do not exit the stage before you arc your character in love. Do not exit the stage until you have finished reading all your divinely designed lines. Do not exit the stage until the love story is lived through, acted out, and written out for the next generation.